Hey, everybody. There it is. Did I drum enough? Did I waste some time? Did I burn that time? Welcome to another glorious episode of I Must Break You Fans Choose Edition. Very excited about that. Good to see everybody hanging out in the chat. So, those of you might have known, if you're here, I'm assuming you knew that we had a choice between Garbage Pail Kids. We had Lorcana Into the Inklands. I believe, yeah, Into the Inklands. And Vertigo as well. We have Vertigo right there. So I tallied up all the votes between, I listed Facebook, Twitter, I'm always going to call it Twitter, Instagram, and on my Patreon. I marked them all up, saw what we were going for, and by a very large margin, Vertigo won 47 to 20 to 11. I was very shocked to see how much Vertigo had moved ahead. It was kind of wild. Was not expecting that. So, very excited to open these Vertigo cards. These are a bit of a pain in the ass because they're actually, if you'll notice, and I'll show you real quick, this is the size of the Vertigo cards. So, I'm going to actually have to go and get oversized top loaders for these for when I mail them up. Hey, Exploding Runes, good to see you here. So this is, again, these are much taller cards than normal. When we look at the normal size card, you think of a, 3.5 by 4 or whatever. These are not that. Very, very beautiful cards, though. Vertigo. If you're not familiar with Vertigo, Vertigo is definitely it was DC Comics' more adult-oriented era. I mean, look at this. Who did this? Is this Fabry that did that? I think we have... Oh, it's Bisley, of course, yeah. Or Tom Taggart in the front, but Bisley in the back. So yeah, we got that sick Doom Patrol card here. Buddy Baker, also known as Animal Man, and Enigma. So what you're going to get by Duncan Fregretto. So, hey, Joe, thanks for joining. So what you're going to get here is you're going to get really, really high quality art, a lot of painted stuff, a lot of weird stuff. Vertigo is DC's mature title. I think even the packs say mature, suggested for mature collectors. So what you're going to get is a lot of very weird, kind of twisted, dark stuff. And again, I am going to, of course, I said this month I was going to add those mini cards that I was going to fit in. Also, by the way, if you're a package receiver, you should be getting your packages in soon. Swamp Thing. I know, Dre, you're not going to have yours yet because I'm still piecing together some stuff. And then Zach, oh, look at that. Brian Bolland, what have you done? This is sick. Books of Magic, which, we see death in there, but Books of Magic are a very interesting one. Ellen Baker. God, these are gorgeous. Yeah, these are really beautiful cards. Heart of the Beast. What Sean is that? Sean Phillips. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And again, these people are going to get these. Yeah, Joe, that's an excellent point. These are absolutely beautiful. If you go to patreon.com/Jeff May, you sign up for the rookie card tiers, any of them. There's a lot of tiers where you get stuff in the mail, and some of these could be yours. Very excited about that. We have a Constantine as Hellblazer, as you can see, and that is Fabry. I mean, that is hard not to see right there. Cover art, Glenn Fabry. We see the number, Shade the Changing Man. So yeah, these are going to be very gorgeous, very painted cards here. We got that Books of Magic with Death again. First of the Fallen. The Invisibles. That's a good one. And Skin Graft. So yeah, so for if you're not fully familiar with Vertigo is the stuff that DC is. It's all mature title stuff. So it's like famously early on it would be stuff like Sandman, Swamp Thing, Animal Man, as we've obviously seen. as we continue going into the more modern era, because these came out in 94. So within 10 years, you're going to get stuff like Fables. Actually, we're not terribly far away from Preacher coming out here. Sandman. Is this a McKean? Who did this art? Yeah, Dave McKean. Absolutely gorgeous cards, though. Like, really beautiful. I am very, very blown away by this. Yeah, some of these are cover art. Some of these are not, So, and usually on the back we see front art and then the back art usually from the storyline that they're going through. That is this Kid Eternity. Like, really cool, really avant-garde stuff. Definitely capturing the energy of Vertigo at the time. But yeah, a lot of it. So like if you see in like some of these things by Brian Bolland or Dave McKean, like, yeah, that's gonna be kind of cover art because these guys were great cover artists, but some of it's just gonna look there. The Brian Bolland Animal Man covers, I loved that cover so much. And this one will tell us on the back. So if you look at front art cover, so they'll tell you whether or not this is a cover or not just by showing you the back if there's, so like on this one, there's front art by Marshall Erisman, but the back art, Dave McKean, is where this kind of was pulled from. Maxine and Cliff Baker, really, really interesting characters when Animal Man got reintroduced. Oh, God damn it. Well, I just spilled water all over the place, so I'm going to need you guys to give me a second while I grab a towel and soak that up. Luckily, I have a towel right next door. Hey, we're having a good time here. Just spilling water and sopping it up. There we go. Good for me. Thank God I had a towel next to me. Jesus. Yeah, Zach, what I was saying is your package is still being placed together. Obviously, we need to be very very picky about what we're sending you and making sure we get that set together so we don't just immediately send it off and burn it, and trying to find it in a way that will make you have your best package coming in. Because obviously, I don't think we're in a rush for yours because we have that 1 month in. Yeah, a little excitement on the stream, folks. So this Sandman, really great. Sandman Mystery Theater, so that was more Golden Age Sandman, but look at that. Jesus, so good. All right. Despair. Black Orchid. The last one. And Witchcraft. Was this Colleen Duran? Michael Kaluta. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of excitement on the stream today. A lot of excitement on the stream with me kicking over my own Doctor Strange water glass. That's why he must have been angry because the glass I'm using, the glass that I was drinking out of today, was Doctor Strange, master of the mystic arts for the competitor. So he must have been really angry that I'm doing a DC Mystic stuff here. Hellblazer stuff always looks good, right? So it's always funny when you can see like just how Glenn Fabry art, how visible his style is. Oh man, that's so good. Doom Patrol Cliff, don't forget Feedhead Dorothy. Who's that? Tom Taggart. Tom Taggart, he also ended up, I think, he did some X-Men Fleer Ultra stuff that people were really onto. Sandman, Timothy Hunter from Books of Magic. That's actually kind of a Harry Potter prototype. People, if you look at Books of Magic, which was a Vertigo story, didn't go looking for magic. I'm doing the only miracle I'd hope for was a perfect skateboard rhyme. Those who know saw a greater thing in Tim, the potential to become the most. Basically, sorry, J.K. Rowling, your story's not that original, seeing as how Books of Magic published it way before you did, So that's one of those things. Yeah, maybe Dormammu would talk to my water. I actually really needed that water. I went for a run today, and I I've been parched all day ever since. Look at that. Jesus Christ, that's cool looking. This is like an art show. Look at that. Who's that? Oh, it's Charles Bass. Like, okay. Shade the Changing Man, Animal Man, Moonshot. Look at that. Those watercolors here. Muth. So doing Moon Shadow. So these cards are a tiny bit sticky, but not too bad. Not in a way that's going to cause any paper loss. Damn, Scarab. That looks good. Look at that style in there. That does look like Glenn, is it? Yep. Glenn Fabry famously did the covers to Preacher. I don't know if you guys were familiar with all those covers, but Glenn Fabry was he was the artist there. Hellblazer. This is a pretty well-known cover right there. You know, and by well-known cover, I mean it's issue 1. Sandman, Shade the Changing Man, Abigail Arcane. That is a gorgeous piece of artwork right here. Susie and Sandman, Golden Age, Sandman Mystery Theater. It's good stuff. Matt Wagner doing good work too. All right. Yeah, these are very, very 90s cards. But this is probably like, when you look at like 90s comics, right? And you look at like all the like Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, like big boobs kind of stuff like that. And then when you look over at what Vertigo was doing, it really was on this totally different level of not chasing, not going out of their way. That's just a damn good piece of artwork right there. Anytime the Sandman Mystery Theater one, that's really cool. Anytime Brian Ballin gets in there, you get excited. Black Orchid. But you really get to see a lot of like really popular artists, a lot of actually, and this is really the sort of ugly part of comics at the time, a lot of female artists were either choosing how to self-publish or they were working through companies like Vertigo. You know, Vertigo famously having a female editor definitely kind of didn't fall into the boys club that you saw in the 90s. Still always love this ball-end cover of Animal Man. It's always so good. Sandman, Susie. Damn, that's cool looking. Falconer. And Enigma. I love how like Duncan Fegretto's like, yeah, you're gonna know it's me here. Saying what was the first card, Zach? I'm not sure which first card you were talking about, but that's the Sandman that I pulled. So yeah, but Vertigo's really sort of like the twisted, ethereal horror. It's mature title stuff. So it's like, you know, when you think about all these like characters and stuff like Doom Patrol, and by the way, if you have not watched Doom Patrol on Max, I don't know what you're waiting for. Like Doom Patrol, Sandman cover, probably McKean, right? Yeah. I'll have to check back on first of the previous pack, Zach, but it might be lost to the sands of time in here. It looked like an angel. I'll go back. Oh, look at that death. Man, that's gorgeous. Rick Berry did that one. Titania. American Freak. So let's see. Something that looked like an angel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we had Swamp Thing here. Is that the one that you thought might look like an angel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the Hellblazer #1 cover. Yeah, Vertigo is definitely one of those things where you go back and you see just how unbelievably at another level. Like when you look at what like how X-Men was being written in the 90s, and then you read like 90s Animal Man and you're like, oh, this was on another level. Dre, you getting dizzy on these cards? I see. Hey, we got Logan up in here. Another good Doom Patrol one. God, that's so good. You can see how this one would make you kind of crazy. Shade was an interesting character to take like an obscure DC character and then turn it in. Same thing with Golden Age Sandman. And so we have our numbers here of how many. So it looks like we've got basically a 90 card set. So we're most likely going to complete the set here. It was Swamp Thing, Zach. That's what you were looking at. It is funny, like, I didn't realize that these were oversized cards. It's funny, like, sometimes when I'm doing a break, I research cards. But with these, I didn't think I'd have to. They were just 90s cards. And then I thought and remembered, like, oh, yeah, like, the 90s were sometimes, like, doing way out of their way. That is a cool, weird friggin' card, and I love it. I am genuinely obsessed with this. Oh, yeah, they are taller, Matt. Good to see Matt. I've actually, Matt, when I was opening these, we got Matt Severin in here. Matt's a big art guy. As I've been looking through these, I'm like, you're going to go freaking crazy. But this one right here, front on cover to Animal Man number 68 by Tom Taggart, like, that's just so friggin' weird and awesome. You know, you didn't really get this from the other from like, you know, mainstream superhero comics at the time, and this is why a lot of people, the extremists, you know, you get a lot of like kind of snobby comic creators at this time that would view like, oh, you like Rob Liefeld, what a joke. Joe saying that I got to play Flex Metallo in Doom Patrol. Man, I wish. That guy looked great. Flex Metallo was fantastic in that. Nice little Sandman in here. Shade the Changing Man. And it is great to see, like, look at, like, so you look at Sandman and then you look at Doom Patrol and God, if you saw the Swamp Thing show that only lasted one season, man, that thing was fantastic too. Like, Vertigo lends itself to television. It's actually one of the reasons that Preacher was really good, and one of the reasons I'm very mad that Why the Last Man didn't take off, because Why the Last Man really loaned itself to that. Damn, that's great. Kathy George. Like, come on. Yeah, if they had had some good, 100 Bullets covers from Brian, not Brian Azzarello, but Eduardo Risso, would have been great. But yeah, we're a little early for that. There's a lot of cards in here, a lot of packs. It's going to be not a longer break. Well, it's going to be longer than a half hour, I think. But yeah, I got Why the Last Man could have been a lot better, I think, in its execution. But I also feel like they buried it. They buried it online. They did not necessarily give it a chance. Paper Girls, yeah, same thing. I mean, can't say Amazon buried Paper Girls online. This Jonah Hex card, actually, on my Facebook when I posted this, my good friend Jason Van Glass, who's going to be at the next Mint on card, was telling me how obsessed he is with that card. Sandman. Shade the Changing Man. That freaky awesome Animal Man card. And then sick Scarecrowy Sandman Mystery Theater. Oh, the kitty cat coming over here to check out and see what I'm up to. Yeah, I would also be really taken by this art. It's pretty fantastic. Like, hard to, like, you know, and there's a lot of incredible artists in this world, you know, like in comics, like some really wonderful people that I know very well. But it's like Vertigo was on just such another level at this point in time. You know, in 1994, that you're seeing stuff like this when everyone else is just drawn like, you know, Pouch Man, the Gun Boob. It really, like, it gives you pause to go back and want to reevaluate everything about this era of comics. Or this era of trying to open this damn thing. Yeah, I guess pandemic timing also did. Yeah, but also like I'm not 100% sure if that's a viable reason for it to have bombed because lots of stuff came out in the pandemic and did really well. And even if it's like made people uncomfortable that because it's a pandemic, like I don't know. I guess some of the weaker people might not want to have that in their purview, but Shade the Changing Man, Animal. I always suggest like when people are like, "Oh, I would like to read these." Um, Animal Man from that era is just so absolutely good. Grant Morrison's run on Animal Man was just so good. And like there were like a lot of meta stuff and uh, saying censors required him to always wear a shirt. That Swamp Thing, that Hellblazer, that I mean, like look at the like, bam, bam. First off, like these are two iconic covers, um, and they really show it. God, that Doom Patrol one, damn, it is funny. It's funny, like. So how many packs in are we? I'm what let's see if I count the wrappers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. About maybe 17, and it looks like I got maybe 12 to 13 left, I think. Uh I think yeah, so yeah, the Swamp Thing's good. I also feel like any of that Vertigo artwork that tended to be trash was I always just am like, well, maybe I just don't get it. Like maybe there's just a style of artwork, but nothing here has made it to like, negative. That Sandman Mystery Theater is absolutely gorgeous. Gavin Wilson and Richard Brunning did that. The last one, that's a cool looking one too. Howdy, howdy. Hey, Dustin. Enigma. The insides. Yeah, some of the insides weren't necessarily great, but some of it was also just very British. Like a lot of Vertigo was British, let's be honest. Like there's a lot of like heavy metal influence in Vertigo. This Doom Patrol card. I have a feeling I'm not going to be keeping any of these. These ones are going to be going out in the mail because I can't imagine anybody not wanting that. We have the Destiny, and then what is this? All right. I see you, gold foil card. What are you? So Roman numeral 6, Sandman Mystery Theater. We see, do we have paper loss here? Is that what this is? Doesn't seem like it. But then again, yeah, that is a little bit of course. Of course, I get just a little bit of paper loss on this gorgeous card. That kind of seems like the kind of card I would want to send in for grading just because it's so gorgeous. So Matt, these came out in 1994. So these cards are from 94. And like, so they have that 1990s gloss on them, which is why some of them are a little sticky to each other. This Swamp Thing is wild. Right. Ian Miller did that one. This is a really cool one. Sandman Mystery Theater. Sandman Mystery Theater always had great stuff in there. Invisibles, American Freak. Matt, you don't remember seeing these in shops? Just no memory of them. I think it's also like we had 1994 was such a glut. Yeah, that shade one with the billiard ball is really great. That we were in such a glut at that time, and like this was really when stuff started to fall apart, which is going to make it kind of interesting. Hellblazer, Shade. This Black Orchid is so gorgeous. Jesus. Another killer Doom Patrol. This Death is really beautiful too. Really gorgeous card. And Rogan Gosh. Yeah, Image, like, when we look at like what was coming out around this time, like, and again, I brought this up earlier, but it was like really all about just like guns and boobs, like guns and boobs and swords. And then, like, there was always like the alt people that were like, Vertigo's the best. But I was, 12, 13 years old in 1994. I'm not going to be reading Swamp Thing. I mean, maybe Swamp Thing, but, I didn't start reading a lot of these until I was in my like early 20s. Black Orchid, Buddy Baker, and Timothy Hunter, the real Harry Potter. Yeah, every card does sort of give you a little bit of amnesia here. I feel like one of these cards is higher than the other. Yeah, I could feel it through the pack that this card was sticking out over. Yeah, that Death animated short was really good. I mean, and also just the Netflix all the Netflix stuff was really great. Was I also really loved the audio book that they did where they had God, why am I forgetting her name? She plays Darcy in the Marvel Universe. She's married to Andrew WK, Two Broke Girls. I know, why do I know her entire IMDb? And I can't remember her name off the top. But she did the voice of Death, and it was really great. Kat Dennings, that's right. Thank you for getting me Kat Dennings, No Signal. This Swamp Thing looks incredible. And also the New 52, the Swamp Thing and Animal Man New 52 stuff working together. Like, that was unbelievable. That Animal Man book, I did a podcast about horror comics, and I did the New 52 Animal Man, Sebastian O, and it was just unbelievable. That's really fun. Roland in Pain. Right. And Vamps. Kyle Baker. Kyle Baker, actually, the first artist I ever got original art from. I got a sketch from Kyle Baker when he was at That's Entertainment promoting Truth, the Captain America storyline. And he actually did a sketch of the Truth character, the original Captain America, Swamp Thing. This Swamp Thing's really good. Yeah, you can see, like, so you can see in 1994. So, like, some of the cards are a little sticky. See if you can hear it. Yeah. For No Signal, first ever artist I ever got custom art from was Clay Croker, the Space Ghost guy, Zorak. It makes sense. You got a Space Ghost avatar there. Wow, come on, look at that. I'm bummed about this paper loss here. Like, look at that. That's unfortunate. Animal Man. And here we go. Desire. That is one hell of a choice. Look at that. That is so friggin' weird. Something much else is really true. There's only one thing to see in its Twilight Realm. It is its fortress, a sculpture of desire, complete in all its detail. The skin is pale as smoke, eyes tawny and sharp as yellow wine, and empty echoing veins like tunnels. It dwells only in one room. Fascinating. So cool. Yeah, right. It does have, yeah, people really going into, these cards should be, coffee table book, put them in a museum. Hellblazer by Fabry. Sandman. This Animal Man's great. Love this Jonah Hex. It is really cool looking. And Vamps. That's a good one. Who's the artist on this one? Will Simpson. So looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 packs to go. And we'll get these. Yes, it's very interesting now that I know that I have oversized cards and undersized cards being mailed out next month. That's going to be wild putting those packages together. Like this month, I couldn't fit the mini cards in because for those of you that have opened them already, you got a couple of packs of cards in the mail with your packages. Is Jonah Hex the movie worth watching? No. Wesley Dodds, so that's the Sandman, Golden Age Mystery Theater. We have Destiny again, and Rogan Gosh. The Blue Animal. Yeah, Animal Man, the Animal Man books, very environmentally themed. You know, a lot of the stuff, like you'll see a lot of heavy lifting by Grant Morrison in these titles here. Grant Morrison did a great Animal Man and just a fantastic run on several books. Like just really incredible. Hellblazer. Is this that blue Animal Man that you said made you feel some kind of way here, Joe? Because I could see it. That's a good one. That Black Orchid, so cool. Yeah, he's like, yep. Skin graft, couple of stickier cards. Yeah, see that paper loss down there. I try to make sure I never send out a card that has loss on it. There was no point in doing that. That would just be rude. That Swamp Thing's really great, though. And I don't see any loss on that one, which is nice. All right. Ooh, these are good. This is a good set right here. Sorry, it's funny, like I'm getting back into working out and I've been working out a lot more and I did some run. I did a run this morning pretty early and it was like really kind of cool out. Like it's been chilly. Oh, hopefully this isn't damaged. Let's see what that's going to be in a second. Black Orchid, Books of Magic. Yeah, that one's going to have some loss. Arcane. Oh, damn. That's a sick Swamp Thing card. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm just Delirium. I don't think have we gotten Delirium yet? Oh, cool. Shade the Changing Man gold. Oh, and we don't have any paper loss on this one. Wait. What's going on? Is that paper loss right there? Maybe up there? Yeah. I think that's... No, I think the near nose is actually just the white. But oh, and we have the Death Pog. You know, they said to be on the lookout for Sky Caps, Death Sky Disc. So there we go. So this was a good pack to get, right? I know, right? We're getting ourselves some Sky Discs up in here. God, the 90s were weird. Got to get me a slammer so I can smash it down. I wonder, like, when you look at, like, a lot of the inserts from a lot of these different sets and stuff, and I have a feeling that those Sky Discs are probably the least valuable insert that's ever existed in a set because people are just like, calm down. Sandman, good. This is a good Constantine. Lenny Shapiro. This looks like David Mackey a little bit. Who is this? Kent Williams. Gorgeous. Dan Belmont. Rolling in Pain. And Heart of the Beast. Yeah, it's like sending them in to send the Sandman and Death insert to get them graded just to keep them nice. The thing is like maybe the Death I would send in, but that Sandman had paper loss, so like there's no chance it'll get a 10. So then I'm just kind of wasting money at that point in time. Like that's going to be 15. That's so sick looking. You know, $15 out of pocket just to have something in a in a slab. It doesn't, you know, I'm not that invested in the card enough to want to preserve it. You know, it's perfectly fine to me. Black Orchid and Scarab. But the death might be, I have a good friend of mine who's a death collector. He collects original art of death. My good friend Bob Shaw. Um, uh, I know that, yeah, Splinter Moon's saying, send it in as a just for you. But yeah, but like, I don't need it to be just that one specifically. Like, I don't need it to be just for me. I'm not that invested in it. That's gorgeous. The frogs. Who's the artist on that one? That's for Greta. Did I miss the auto? Oh yeah, there it is right there. For Greta. That, like as much as I like the idea of, preserving a card or whatever, like that card I don't need to preserve. So I just don't, it's not just for me because I don't really care about it. Um, I do feel like I would be wasting money on that one, especially because my margins doing this are so friggin' low that there's like, I'm losing money once I start getting into that era. Nice Hellblazer here. Shade. Kind of looks like my friend Nick Cowan a little bit. This Animal Man one is so good. Books of Magic. Susie. And this Titania again. So sick. Last pack of Vertigo cards. Can we pull another Death Sky disc out of here? And again, head on over to patreon.com/Jeff May. Oh, also, I think this is the last. Is this the last I Must Break You on this specific channel? I think it might be. If you are watching, when you're done, make sure you go to @JeffHasCoolCards. We're going to be moving I Must Break You over there. That's a really sick card. Just to streamline things and make it a little bit easier and keep the card stuff separate from the podcast stuff. This Ellen Baker is so good. Swamp Thing. So these are 1994 no signals. So Transmet is not going to make it, unfortunately, into this set. So you're really going to get those like primarily 80s and 90s, like your Hellblazers, your Sandman Mystery Theaters, your Sandman themselves, Doom Patrol, etc. Zach saying Jeff has cool cards subscription number 2 right there. We love to see it. We always love to see that. Well, now I know I got to head on over to Burbank Sports Cards and find some larger card holders so I can get these to mail out. This is the last break of May, I believe. So all the stuff that's going to be coming in, we had those Star Wars art. This is going to be a really dense month, actually, if I'm being honest. X-Men 2, the Star Wars art cards, these things, like, it's going to be pretty intense. Patreon.com/Jeff May. You have a couple days, if I recall. What's the date today? It's the 29th. You got a couple days. You can sign up. And you can get these things in the mail. You can get some of these cards, some of these ones, the X-Men 2s, we have lots of good stuff in there. So head on over. I think I will also be here doing a mailbag on Friday. I got some good stuff in the mail that I want to show off. Certain collection builders, certain other things, some stuff to break in the future. And maybe we'll even, it's very rare for me to do a mailbag and not do a little break in the middle of it. So that's a hint there. But yeah, so, the thick Star Wars art cards that we did, those, the ones from China, pick those, open those a couple of episodes ago. So you're going to want to check that out. But yeah, so we got mailbag on Friday. Definitely check out Jeff Has Cool Cards. If you want any of these, including the stuff that we've been breaking over the past month, head on over to patreon.com/Jeff May. Sign up for any one of those tiers that get you stuff in the mail, and they are yours. So definitely something to check into because, I know that a lot of the value is like people are like they get something from the show and it's something that I sign or I write or whatever and maybe not the cards. I think this month is going to be, as far as value is concerned. Yeah, look at my sleeve. You like my sleeve? It's a pink tie-dye from the Pinball Hall of Fame. Like, it's only this arm that has pink. The other arm is like all white. And so it's like half of it's like a really lopsided pattern that I really love. So yeah, let's show that on the mailbag. Really like really bright hot pink over here, and then it's literally nothing over there. Oh yeah, Zach, you can tag me in Facebook all you want, man. It's fine by me. I'm barely on there. So it's just a delight to see it. Again, thank you all so much for joining me. Make sure you subscribe to at Jeff has cool cards. Don't make sure you stay subscribed here too, because I'm going to be doing more stuff on this channel as well. I'm just trying to make sure the stuff keeps separate. I want to be smart about that. Oh, I need to trim that nail. Thank you all so much for joining me. You are absolutely delightful, and I love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day, and I miss you. All right, bye.